we have Jiri Kram, who's a blockchain and cloud solutions architect. And you and I met at the, the Corticon in London, and developed an affinity for each other. And Jiri was actually a student of David Schreiber at MIT.
Yeah, MIT, yes.
So welcome, Jiri, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. So, yeah, I'm currently in the Czech Republic, but because of the quarantine, I'm normally based in London. So, hi, everyone. This is my contribution to the global COVID-19 hackathon that happened basically last week. And I've contributed to this project called Smart Quarantine. It's been very fast concept. It's been actually adapted to one of the concepts I did in the past for retail. And it looks like this. So basically, when you think about the large cities, they are really dangerous for virus spreading. And social distancing, like many of you actually already experienced, is quite difficult. And therefore, we really need to build cities that are much safer for people and where we can move much more freely. So how are we going to fix this? The city is going to be behaving almost like a real-time social graph. And the citizens going to be behaved almost like a nodes feeding the inferences to the machine learning models. And locations can be also parts of the blockchain network. And how we're going to achieve this is by the combination of the city government and telecommunication service provider. So this is the picture that actually shows these two players. So you have on one side you have a city government, and then you have a telecommunication service provider. I'm going to start from the top and going down. So basically, from the point of view of city, the city looks like a social graph. So you can see the interaction in the city and all that. And this means that you can do the predictions, what's going to be the behavior of each part in the city. And because everything is connected, we got an inference to those machine learning models. So I got an inference from the identities of the people that are actually moving. And the very important part is the edge locations. When I say edge locations, think about places like hospitals, train stations, large shopping malls and all that. And the reason for this is obviously 5G, because this cuts the latency. And this enables totally different model for cities, because I can build like an API services for the city and do the real-time alerting, for example, for the people, which I'm going to show you, not to move to the certain areas. Now, let's go to the communication service provider. I'm going to show you the next slide, which is actually talking about what is in the telecommunication service side around blockchain. So we have the centralized kind of like a ledger, which sits in a telco provider. When I say telco, talk about someone like Verizon, AT&T, Telefonica, whoever, right? And the way how we actually do this is that we are not working with the, let's say, from the API perspective, from the data of the like a real people on the social graph, but we create the identity hash of these people. So it's basically the consensus between four things. You have a device, and you have a bank identity, basically KYC, and the government identity, like your ID and all that kind of stuff. And then the health API, therefore you can get the status like, are you COVID positive, COVID negative, and all that. And therefore, from the point of view of what David was talking about, the protection of the data, this thing is designed specifically for Europe, for GDPR compliance and all that, because basically in our ledger, we do not store the data about people, but we store the resulting hash. So you are either COVID negative or COVID positive. Okay, so this is how we actually protecting the data. Now, let me show you what it really means from the analytical perspective. So this is the city. It could be, for example, Madrid or London or something. And it's split in the various areas in the city. And here you can see those triangles, and they represent those edge locations. As I said, it could be museum, bus station, shopping malls, and whatever have you. And then you have the identities. And identities can be blue dot, which is basically someone who is a COVID negative, and the red dots, which are basically COVID positive patients. Now you see there's some arrows around that. And this is this prediction models which we run because of this kind of like inference, which is basically coming because everyone who has the mobile device connected to this network, we basically optimize all those machine learning models. And so what you can see here, for example, we have a people in area city 8, and they can move to the city area 9 or 14. And we don't want them to move to the area 14 because there's a high risk of contagion. So why I'm doing it? Because I'm really concerned about the situation. This is something which was posted by the CEO of Telefonica in Madrid. And this is basically the symbol of what is happening in Madrid. So this is this bear is a symbol of Madrid, and he's hugging the nurse. And think about it, it's almost like a similar symbol, like the Statue of Liberty would step down from a pedestal and hugging the nurse. So this is how bad it is in Europe, and therefore I decided to donate this project for absolutely free to any city in the world with the telecommunication, basically, because this is the combination of the telco and the government, and I'm obviously using the MIT license for this because I really want to save as many lives as possible.